Be me, Mark, 34, systems architect at a mid-sized tech firm. Make good money, low six figures, enough to live comfortable in the city. Married to Sarah, 29, for 5 years. Met her when she was a barista and I was a junior dev. We were broke together. I remember eating ramen on a mattress on the floor of my studio apartment. We laughed until our ribs hurt because the radiator made a noise that sounded like a dying cat. That was us. Scrappy, in love, us against the world. She was an artist then. Painted watercolors, messy bun, paint on her nose. I loved that paint on her nose. I worked my ass off to get promoted so she could paint part-time. Wanted to give her the world, or at least a world where she didn't have to serve coffee to assholes at 6 a.m. Fast forward 3 years. Sarah gets a job at a boutique marketing agency. Creative director title. I was proud. We celebrated with cheap champagne on her rooftop. Then she met Chloe. Chloe was the agency owner. 45, divorced 3 times, drove a G-Wagon, looked like she was made of plastic and bitterness. Chloe took Sarah under her wing. Mentorship, she called it. Slowly, the watercolors disappeared, replaced by vision boards and manifestation journals. The paint on her nose was replaced by fillers in her lips. Subtle at first, then the vocabulary changed. She stopped talking about art and started talking about optics. Started talking about high-value lifestyles. Started analyzing our life like it was a spread in a magazine. Mark, why do we shop at Kroger? Chloe says Whole Foods has better vibrational energy. I laughed. Thought she was joking. She wasn't joking. You put a price on your health, Mark. It shows a scarcity mindset. Scarcity mindset. That was the first buzzword. I shrugged it off. Started buying the organic kale. Whatever makes her happy. Then it was the car. I drove a 2015 Honda Accord. Reliable, paid off, got me from A to B. We were going to a dinner party at Chloe's penthouse. Sarah looked at the Honda like it was a disease. We can't pull up in that. Why? It works fine. It's embarrassing, Mark. It screams mid-level management. You need to project success to attract success. I am successful, Sarah. I have 0 debt and a fat 401k. That's silent success. Nobody respects silent success anymore. We took an Uber Black. Cost me $80 to go 4 miles. At the party, I stood in the corner holding a craft cocktail that tasted like perfume. Chloe introduced me to her friends. This is Mark. He works with computers. Said it with a tone that implied I fix printers at a library. The men there were all wearing suits that cost more than my first car. Talking about crypto, passive income streams, and their 3rd divorce. Sarah was glowing. She looked at them with a hunger I'd never seen before. On the ride home, she was quiet. Did you have fun? I asked. Did you see Brad's watch? It was an AP Royal Oak. Cool. I like my Seiko, she sighed. A heavy, disappointed sigh that sucked the air out of the Uber. You just don't get it. You're content. Content is the enemy of growth. The criticism started the next week. Not about big things. Small things. The way I dressed. Cargo shorts? Really? It's Saturday, not a safari. The way I ate. You chew too loud. It's unrefined. The way I spent my free time. I liked playing guitar. Just strumming, nothing serious. You're wasting hours on a hobby that doesn't monetize. You could be networking. I tried to adapt. Bought nicer jeans. Chewed with my mouth shut tight. Put the guitar in the closet. Thought if I polished myself up, she'd look at me like she used to. Like I was her hero. But the goalposts kept moving. I got a raise. 15% bump. Came home excited to tell her. That's great, babe. But considering inflation, it's barely a break even, right? Brad just closed a deal for $2 million. Brad again. Who the fuck is Brad? I'm not Brad, Sarah. I'm Mark. I know. That's the point. That one stung. She touched my arm, but it felt cold. I'm just pushing you because I see your potential. You're settling for mediocrity. The intimacy started to dry up. Used to be spontaneous. Saturday mornings, Tuesday nights, whenever. Now it was a negotiation. I'm tired, Mark. I spent all day manifesting our brand strategy. My vibration is off tonight. You didn't book that reservation at the French place. I don't feel courted. Courted. We've been married 5 years. I do the laundry. I pay the mortgage. I rub her feet when she wears those heels she hates. But I wasn't courting her because I didn't spend $400 on escargot. I tried harder. Booked the French place. Bought flowers. Wore a blazer to dinner. She spent the whole meal taking photos of the food. Don't eat yet, the lighting is wrong. Can you move your hand? It looks unmanly in the frame. Unmanly. I pulled my hand back. Are we here to eat or to post? We're here to build a lifestyle brand, Mark. If you don't document it, it didn't happen. She posted a picture of us. Caption, date night with hubby. Manifesting abundance. #power couple. She didn't tag me. She checked the likes every 30 seconds. Back home, I thought the effort would pay off. Leaned in to kiss her. She pulled away. I'm bloated from the butter. And you looked bored all night. It really killed the vibe. I slept on the edge of the bed. Started working late just to avoid the inspections. Coming home felt like walking into a performance review. Did you ask for that equity package? Did you go to the gym? Your shoulders look small. Why are you reading sci-fi? Read Atomic Habits again? I felt like I was shrinking, like the Mark who ate ramen and laughed was dying. Then came the Tulum trip. Her 30th birthday was coming up. She wanted to go to Tulum with the girls. Chloe, Vanessa, some other influencers, and the husbands were invited. It's a retreat, Mark. We're going to align our chakras and network. Cost me $5,000. We get there. It's not a retreat. It's a photo shoot that lasts 4 days. I'm holding her bags, holding the reflector dish so the light hits her abs right. Taking 500 photos of her walking into the ocean. Again, Mark, you cut off my feet. Do you not care about my aesthetic? I'm trying, Sarah. The sun is bright. Brad hired a professional photographer for Vanessa. Just saying. Day 3. Dinner at a jungle restaurant. Everyone is drunk on mezcal. Chloe starts holding court. Men are accessories, she says, loud enough for the whole table. If your man isn't elevating you, he's an anchor. Cut the rope. The women cheer. Clink glasses. The men sit there smiling uncomfortable smiles. Simps. All of us. I look at Sarah, waiting for her to defend me, to say Mark's not an anchor. Mark supported me for 3 years while I painted bad watercolors. She doesn't. She nods. Raises her glass. To leveling up, she says. Something broke in my chest. A small, quiet snap, like a dry twig. I stood up. I'm going back to the hotel. Sit down, Mark. Don't be dramatic. You're ruining the energy. Enjoy the energy, Sarah. I walked back alone in the dark. Sat on the balcony. Listened to the ocean. Realized I was lonely. Not that I miss her kind of lonely, but I am completely alone in this marriage kind of lonely. She came back at 3 a.m., stumbling. You embarrassed me, she hissed. Chloe thinks you're low vibration. She thinks you're holding me back. Maybe I am, I said. Maybe you are. Maybe you need to step up or step out. Step out. She passed out in her clothes. The next morning, I was packed. We leaving? She asked, hungover. I'm leaving. You stay. Manifest some aspirin. I flew home early. The apartment was quiet. It smelled like her expensive candles. Sandalwood and pretension. I looked at the vision board on the wall. Pictures of yachts, Rolexes, skinny women in Paris. No pictures of us. No pictures of family. Just stuff. Expensive stuff. I went to work on Monday. Felt different. Lighter. Sarah came back Tuesday. Expected a fight. Expected me to apologize. I'm willing to forgive you for abandoning me, she said, dropping her LV bags in the hall. If you book a session with Chloe's life coach. I looked at her. Really looked at her. Saw the fillers. The cold eyes. The calculation. No, I said. Excuse me. No, I'm not doing that. She froze. Not used to know. Fine. Then you're choosing stagnation. Don't expect me to be affectionate with a man who refuses to grow. Okay. I went to the guest room. Set up my computer. She didn't come in. Probably waiting for me to crawl back. To beg for the privilege of buying her things. I didn't crawl. Days turned into weeks. We lived like roommates who hated each other. She kept testing me. The dishwasher is broken. Call the repairman. You have a phone, I said. That's a man's job. I thought gender roles were a construct of the patriarchy. She stormed off. I stopped engaging. Stopped asking about her day. Stopped complimenting her outfits. Stopped caring about Brad or Chloe or the vibration of the kale. I started going to the gym. Not for her. For me. To burn off the anger. Lifted heavy circles until my arms shook. Started reading again. Not Atomic Habits. History. Philosophy. Marcus Aurelius. The best revenge is not to be like that. Resonated. I bought a motorcycle. 1978 Yamaha. A rusted piece of junk. Sarah saw it in the garage. What is that monstrosity? A project. It leaks oil. It's dirty. Get rid of it. No. She laughed. Cruel sound. Midlife crisis? You're pathetic. Maybe. I spent my nights in the garage. Hands covered in grease. Smelling like gasoline and old metal. It was real. Tangible. I turned a bolt and it tightened. Cause and effect. No manipulation. No gaslighting. Just mechanics. 6 months passed. I was in the best shape of my life. The bike was running. I felt calm. Sarah started to notice. Not the bike. The detachment. She'd come into the garage. You spend more time with that machine than your wife. The machine appreciates the effort. Is that a joke? Just an observation. She tried to provoke me. Chloe says you're emotionally unavailable. That's a trauma response. Chloe is a miserable alcoholic who sells insecurity to women. Don't speak about her like that. She's a queen. Okay. I turned back to the carburetor. She stood there, waiting for the fight. I didn't give it to her. Silence is the loudest noise in the world. Then came the gala. Her agency's big annual event. She needed a prop. You need to come. Wear the tuxedo. And for God's sake, get a haircut. I'm busy. Doing what? Playing with your toy bike? Yes. Mark, this is my career. If you don't come, you're sabotaging me. I thought I was an anchor. Cutting the rope, remember? She looked shocked. I didn't mean it like that. You meant it exactly like that. Please. Just this once. Brad'll be there. Fuck Brad. But I went. Not for her. Curiosity. Wanted to see the circus one last time. I wore the tux. Look good. Sleeves were tight on my arms now. Sarah looked stunning. But when I looked at her, I felt nothing. Like looking at a beautiful vase in a museum. Cold. Hard. Empty. We get there. Chloe is there. Oh, look, the mechanic cleaned up nice, she sneered. The group laughed. Sarah laughed with them. That was the moment. The final nail. She laughed at me to fit in with them. I walked to the bar, ordered a whiskey. A guy stood next to me, older, gray beard, eyes that had seen everything. Rough crowd? He asked. Plastic crowd, I said. He chuckled. I'm Tom. I own the building. Mark. I fix systems. We talked. Not about crypto or brands. About engines, about wood cabins, about silence. My ex-wife was like that. Tom pointed to Chloe's circle. Wanted to be seen more than she wanted to be known. What happened? I left. Built a house by the lake. Never been happier. Is it lonely? Solitude isn't loneliness, son. Peace is expensive. It costs you people. But it's worth it. I looked at Sarah. She was taking a selfie with Brad. Brad had his hand a little too low on her waist. She didn't move it. She was smiling that fake, wide smile. I finished my whiskey. Thanks, Tom. Good luck, Mark. I walked out. Didn't say goodbye. Took the subway home. Started typing the letter. Sarah came home at 2 a.m. Furious. Where did you go? You humiliated me. Brad had to drive me home? Did you fuck him? Silence. She blinked. How dare you? I don't care if you did. That's the sad part. I just want to know if I should pack your bags or mine. You're crazy. You're gaslighting me. I'm leaving, Sarah. What? I'm done. The lease is up next month. I'm not renewing. You can't leave me. We're a power couple. We're building an empire. You're building an image. I'm building a life. They aren't compatible. She started crying. Real tears? Maybe. Probably panic. But I love you. Do you love the idea of a husband who funds your lifestyle while you critique him? I was pushing you to be better. I am better. I'm fit. I'm debt-free. I have hobbies. I have peace. And I did it all in spite of you, not because of you. She froze. The truth hit her like a slap. I slept on the couch. Next morning, I called the lawyer. Started the process. Sarah tried to fix it. The switch had flipped for her too, but in reverse. Suddenly she was cooking. I made keto pancakes. Suddenly she wanted to ride on the bike. Take me for a spin, babe. Suddenly the phone was away. Let's just connect. Eye contact. It was pathetic. Watching a predator try to act like a pet. Why are you being so cold? She asked one night. She was wearing lingerie. The kind she used to say was too trashy but now wore because she was desperate. I'm not being cold, Sarah. I'm just gone. I left that room a long time ago. You just didn't look up from your phone to notice? We can go to therapy. No. I'll cut off Chloe. Doesn't matter. Why? Because you looked at me with contempt for 2 years. You can't unring that bell. I can't sleep next to someone who thinks I'm average just because I don't want to be a CEO. She cried on the floor. Tantrum. I deserve better than this. Yes. You deserve Brad. Go find him. I moved out a week later. Got a small place with a garage. Kept the bike. Kept the job. Kept my sanity. Saw Tom a few months later. Coffee shop. He nodded. You look lighter. Feel lighter. Checked Sarah's Instagram once. Curiosity. She's dating a crypto visionary now. Guy looks like a shark in a cheap suit. Caption. Finally found someone who matches my hustle. Hash no settling. She looks tired. Smile doesn't reach her eyes. I put the phone down. Picked up a wrench. Tightened a bolt. It held. The engine roared to life. Sounded like freedom. Never looked back. Peace is expensive, but damn, it's worth it.